So my flight got canceled.
Then our second flight was canceled because they didn't have a captain.
Flight cancellations were a big issue in 2021 as 2 coronavirus variants upended the airline industry.
In 2020, travel screeched to a halt. And last year, leisure travel came roaring back over the summer. And a lot of airlines ramped up their schedules in order to meet that demand.
But many airlines that tried to operate nearly full schedules over the summer got burned, leaving passengers stranded or flights delayed.
Look at all these people.
The pandemic has made flying tougher on all carriers, but some airlines handled the challenges, like cancellations, better than others, according to the Wall Street Journal's annual ranking of U.S. airlines by operational performance. So in another disruptive year of air travel, what were some of the main factors that led to overall flight cancellations? The annual airline ranking scorecard, like the Department of Transportation, counts flights canceled within 7 days of departure. Flights scrubbed before that are considered schedule changes, not cancellations. One of the factors that led to flight cancellations was labor shortages. Throughout the year, the coronavirus fueled staffing shortages as crews called in sick across the industry. Airlines are particularly affected by this because they operate under strict safety rules. For example, pilots aren't always trained to fly multiple aircraft types. Crews have to get a certain amount of rest between shifts, dictated by regulations. And employees such as flight dispatchers and mechanics can only take so much extra work safely, which could lead airlines with no other choice but to cancel flights. Allegiant, which canceled around 1,600 flights over the summer, didn't have enough truck drivers, which led to a jet fuel shortage at some of the small airports Allegiant serves.
The airline also says that it dealt with TSA staff shortages at some of its smaller airports, as well as staffing problems with some of its contractors.
In the last week of December, more than 1,000 flights in the U.S. were canceled each day, according to data tracker FlightAware.
A lot of airlines saw their staff test positive for COVID over the holidays as cases of the Omicron variant were rising.
Another factor contributing to cancellations? Bad weather.
A United spokesman said that the airline had some significant snow events at several of its biggest hubs in the first quarter of last year.
United faced weather challenges in Houston in February and Denver in March.
A spokeswoman from Allegiant said the airline was affected by severe weather over the summer. So there was lightning in Florida, where about half of Allegiant's flights operate through.
Southwest said bad weather at its hubs in Baltimore, Denver, and Chicago prompted many of its cancellations in December. At the end of 2021, airlines struggled through one of the most severe and persistent mass cancellation events of the past decade, according to data compiled by FlightAware. But the industry is working on being better prepared going forward.
Many airlines said that they're focused on hiring now to prepare for the coming months, as well as making sure that they're operating the right number of flights based on available staff and demand.